we have the opportunity to capture memories, right? Even if you're not trying to do this as a profession or anything like that, but thinking back to maybe capturing your child's first steps, right? Or getting photos and videos of your loved ones before they pass. Like those kind of things are you can't really put a price on those, right? Those are priceless memories.
Like, subscribe, and share to Voices of Linden TV.
Welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Show. I'm your host, Andrew James, and today I'm pleased to have with us in studio via Zoom, Mr. Jamal Ward. Mr. Ward is the owner-operator of Flash Forward, located in Toronto, Ontario.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you, Andrew, for having me on the show today.
Very good. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ward. It's so nice to see you after, I'll say, 20 years.
Yeah, that's around there, 16, 17 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
Mr. Ward is a very good friend of mine. I don't know if I should say fortunately or unfortunately, we spent some time studying together in post-secondary here in beautiful Ontario, Canada. Mr. Ward, for folks watching this show that don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
So like Andrew said, I am a cinematographer and I own the company Flash Forward. It is a cinematography production house that we've created over the course of years that just really help to capture people's stories and put it in the best light. We started in about 2013, and now we've grown to a team to about 13 people. A few different cinematographers. We work with a bunch of different producers, studios, editors, and we've pretty much been able to build something from the ground up.
Nice, very nice. So, Mr. Ward, for the word cinematography, it's a big word. For in a layman's term, if you were to break it down for, what would you say cinematography involves? What is this word all about?
Cinematography is basically storytelling. You're using the resources that you have, so like a camera, lighting, the audio and dialogue that you might have from a production or something like that, and you're telling the story of what's going on within that environment. A lot of times, let's use a commercial, for example, they'll use cinematography to help sell the product, right? They want you to be able to relate to what's happening. So they tell the story of the product, they maybe tell it in, explain how that product is going to be used, and they give it to you within 30 seconds. And that's essentially what cinematography is connecting people to the story of what they're seeing.
I was just down at Yonge and Dundas Square here in Toronto, and I noticed some of your work being featured on the big billboard. And for folks who's watching who don't know Yonge and Dundas Square, Yonge and Dundas Square is the equivalent of Times Square in New York. So this is a big deal, but you are a big deal. And it's nice to have you in studio today via Zoom. What inspired you to start Flash Forward?
Well, I was always one of those kids that was always into film and photography. But things really changed for me one year when NBA All-Star Weekend came to Toronto. And it was almost like a full circle experience for myself, because as a kid, I really looked up to NBA players and basketball players and just everything to do with the NBA. And then being in a position where I'm now able to use the services that I want to use for my life, and being in the same room as these professional athletes and doing what I do, it was, like I said, it was like a full circle opportunity for me to just put everything together. And just looking at that opportunity and, being a part of what was going on was super inspirational to me. And it ultimately drove me to pursue this as a full-time career.
Nicely said. Very nice. So what are some of the services you provide, if you can tell us about that, and if you can provide your contact information?
So the services that you can expect from us is cinematography, photography, web and graphic design. And we specialize in weddings, commercial work, short films, website design, things along those natures, anything really to do with the visual part of the world that we live in now. We help companies and individuals preserve those memories. You can see my work anywhere on social media. I'm very involved with Instagram and Twitter. But for anybody that's either trying to book our services or learn from us, because we also do teach an online course, you can find us at www.flashforwardmg.com.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. For someone thinking about starting their own company, do you offer any mentorship programs? And what tips would you give to a young person like myself, or perhaps younger, who's thinking about following your lead and perhaps getting into the same line of business like you are?
Nice. So I'm glad you actually asked that question. Like I said just before, we are putting together an online course that's going to allow anybody from a newcomer to somebody that might be a little bit more seasoned but trying to build a business out of this craft. We're putting together an online course that's going to help you take that step into the cinematography, photography world. And we're offering a 6-module course that goes over the type of equipment you can look into buying, how to edit, things like building your brand and building the business as well. And currently, I don't know how much of this I can actually talk about, but I'm in the discussion with a particular brand that's going to allow me to come in and teach a few courses within their organization. So they have a 7-week course that essentially brings in students, teaches them things about film and photography, just how to do, all those different kind of things involved with the program. And I might be one of the featured, we'll call them educators that comes in and does my thing with them.
Very nice to start. Well, congratulations on your new proposed gig. I am excited to hear about that, and I'm looking forward to perhaps learning more. For folks wanting to get in touch with you, I know you provided your website.
The best way to get in contact with me is to go to our website and fill out our contact form. Mm-hmm. That way I, get some information in terms of what you're looking for so that I can, put together the right answers for you in terms of when we actually do get into a phone call. And also on social media. I'm very active on social media. If you, have a question about film or photography or, the business part of like becoming an entrepreneur and things like that, I really try my best to give those answers to anybody that reaches out on social media. And the reason why is because when I got started, if I'm being honest with you, nobody took the time to do that for me, right? It was hard to get into contact with people that were in the cinematography space and that were actively doing it as a full-time entrepreneur. It's I don't know if it was they were just too busy or I don't know what the case was, but it was really difficult to have those conversations with those kind of people. And I said to myself, once I get to the position where I have a platform that I can help people, I'm going to do my best to start helping them, even if it's with the little things like what camera should I buy? What light should I buy? Where's a good location where I can do some, where I can find some studios, like things like that. I'm more than happy to, help answer those questions. And like I said, for the people that are looking for a little bit more, that are trying to, really learn the craft of film or photography, or really just trying to get into the business end of things, that's where the course is going to be, really beneficial to a lot of people.
Excellent. Nicely said. I know a lot of religious organizations have since transformed to have an online presence following COVID. Are you open to working with different groups to help them enhance their, video presentation at their local religious organization, if I may?
Yeah, definitely. One of the business partners that I work with on a regular basis, one of the things that we did is we helped one of the local churches understand the technology required on how to run a live stream. So of course, COVID really affected the way that, people that wanted to go in and worship, you weren't able to just go into the church and just do your thing anymore. So what a lot of churches had to do was put together this live stream package, or essentially that allowed people to still, get their worship in, be safe at home. And, the church was able to still broadcast a high bandwidth or high resolution service, right? And that's definitely something that we were helping a lot of different organizations, not just churches, but like workplaces, different organizations and things like that. We're helping them understand the technology, coming in and showing them how to perform and use it. And then ultimately, some of them actually had us coming in and doing that for them on a weekly basis during the pandemic.
Now, in terms of cinematography and photography, how is this important in one's everyday life?
Yeah, it's a good question. We live in a day and age now where literally all of us have a cell phone in our hand, and we have the opportunity to capture memories, right? Even if you're not trying to do this as a profession or anything like that, but thinking back to maybe capturing your child's first steps, right? Or getting photos and videos of your loved ones before they pass. Like those kind of things are you can't really put a price on those, right? Those are priceless memories. So having the ability to not only capture it, but doing it in a way where you're getting the best quality to, share with the next generation of people that, are in your family or even just friends at work or whatever the case is. Being able to do that is just something you can't put a value on.
Excellent. That's actually a very good answer. I mean, for me, taking, photos and stuff of preserving, for example, the place where I work in the past and stuff. I mean, really and truly, I work at some fantastic places, but if you were to ask me, let's say, for my nieces or so, they say, Uncle, where did you work? I don't know, 20 years ago or 30 years ago or wherever. Well, I work here, but I don't have any pictures. So, I mean, I'd say it's a fantastic answer. Sometimes people don't think about these small things. But like you said, the past
Right.
one, you have no photos. How do you tell their story at that time? Good. Thank you for sharing your insights. We're just bunching up against time. Just in closing, for a young person or perhaps even a senior at home that's looking for something extra to do, and perhaps following your footsteps, or for a young person that's working that's looking to develop a new career path, what advice would you give to that individual?
It's easy to get lost in everything else going on around you, but when you find something that you truly love, you need to go out there and actively put yourself into position to learn.
Mhm.
That's where I always say that you need to start is take the opportunity to learn. I've been doing what I'm doing now for nearly 10 years professionally, and every single day I'm looking at something, I'm reading something, talking to people that are teaching me how to become better at what I do. And once you fall in love with the learning process of anything, it doesn't have to be, cinematography or photography. It could be, becoming a gymnast, whatever, right? As long as you're willing to learn and then apply what you learn, really the sky's the limit. Nobody can stop you from doing anything, especially for people within the BIPOC community that don't have necessarily, let's say, the mentors at hand that are going to take your hand and, teach you how to do these things individually. You have to develop the ability to teach yourself and be hungry for more knowledge.
Like you said, look at the cost of living nowadays. Like a lot of people are looking for supplemental income and secondary jobs. What a great opportunity to, connect with Mr. Ward, 647-746-9588, and perhaps, get together and explore some options. Mr. Ward, I want to thank you for taking your time to be a part of the Let's Talk show. On behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you very much. And, best wishes for the future. I know the New Year is approaching. I hope you take a lot of pictures and you preserve those memories. And I look forward to having you back again on the show in the near future.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much and have a good night.